Today, we will talk about hypnotherapy. The title is Exploring Hypnotherapy as an Effective Tool for Resolving Past Emotional Trauma, a case series in emotional healing. So, today is the International Conference on Prevalence and Importance of Maternal Mental Health Globally, organized by C.T. Thomas Elizabeth College for Women and Thunai Trust. What is hypnotherapy? It is a use of hypnosis in psychotherapy. What is hypnosis? It is body sleep, mind awake. In the sense, the body will be relaxed and the person will be alert, listening to the voice of the counselor. So if you want to know about the history of hypnotherapy, it started with Mesmer. Even the psychology, it started with Mesmer. It talks about the universal fluid, which is known as mesmerism, and later on, Dr. Esdale, 1808 to 1859, he was using relaxation technique instead of anesthetic use because that time anesthesia was not invented or not widely used. So then comes James Bright. He mentioned hypno as sleep. It is a sleep therapy in the sense the person will be relaxed. Then Jean Charcot, he was experimenting with hysteria patients in France, 1825 to 1893. Then at the same time, Dr. Liebold and Dr. Burning both were um, using this technique, hypnotherapy technique, in the name of suggestive therapy. They used to give suggestions and cure people. Then there is Pierre Janet. He has given the details of the dissociation, like how people dissociate themselves due to some mental disorders. And then Dr. Joseph Breuer, he used to practice catharsis technique where he makes the person relax and help them to vent out the emotional issues. And during that time, Dr. Sigmund Freud, he was there, observed this, what was being carried out by Joseph Breuer, and he found that it really works and it helps in getting rid of emotional issues. So then what he did, instead of using relaxation, he made the patient just to focus on the past issues to vent out those stressful situations or stressful emotions. And he named it psychoanalysis instead of hypnotherapy. Then comes Carl Jung. He has explained about the collective unconscious and how the unconscious affects the individual behavior. Then comes Dr. Milton Erickson. He talks about NLP. He explains, basically he practiced hypnotherapy, and later on the techniques what he was using was known as neuro-linguistic programming. And even in our Indian scriptures, like example Mandukya Upanishad, it explains about the four states of consciousness, namely waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep, silence, known as Turiya, and sage Tirumular in Tirumandaram explains the fifth stage of consciousness, that is Rajayogic blissful stage, the Turiyatit stage. So it means even in India, they are aware of the different stages of consciousness, and the highest stage is when you become free from all the past memories. Instead of saying memories, we can say past emotional issues, so that uh, the person can remain in the blissful state, the highest stage. They call it a self-realization. So what is, who am I? Who am I, the person? So we can say either we are stress consciousness or we are blissful consciousness. So the more we are blissful consciousness, more healthy we remain. More we are stress consciousness, more unhealthy we become, either physically or mentally. So when we talk about blissful consciousness, let us say it is a universal human consciousness, and this consciousness naturally has the values and virtues of being gratitude, loveful, trust, fulfillment, cooperation, harmony, respect. So these are the natural nature of our consciousness, the true consciousness, the pure consciousness. But we don't experience this bliss constantly because we get carried away. Get carried away by the past emotional issues. Our attention remains focused on those stressful situations. So there are two types of happiness. One is hedonic, another is eudaimonic. So hedonic in the sense the happiness which derive out of our five senses, and the eudaimonic is that internal happiness. In other words, we can call it as that blissful state of awareness. We remain internally content, happy, satisfied, irrespective of the senses, irrespective of what our five senses take within. So we remain unaffected by those happiness, that happiness which we derive out of five senses, but we remain stabilized in that stable happiness, which is the natural state of our original consciousness, pure consciousness. So then what am I? What am I? I am what I think, what I feel, what I experience. So if we are thinking about the past emotional issues, worries, anxieties, anger, then we become conscious of that stressful situations, then we become that. In other words, or there is another way of living a healthy life. It is to focus more on the peace, love, happiness, joy, the contentment, the satisfaction, expressing values and virtues in our day-to-day life. So that leads to that eudaimonic happiness, the blissful state of awareness. So what is hypnotherapy? Hypnotherapy helps us to wake us up from the obsession of thoughts of the past emotions, the past worrying situations. It stops you from being lost in past memories. It makes you alert from um, remain like an artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, whatever you feed, whatever you store, it acts accordingly. It never thinks on its own. It never remains self-conscious. So human being also act like artificial intelligence because we forget our natural state of pure consciousness, consciousness of values, consciousness of bliss, and instead we focus on the past emotional situations and behave like an artificial intelligence without having a consciousness, the pure consciousness. And hypnotherapy helps re-emerge these universal human values by overcoming all those disturbing emotional issues or overcoming the stress. So what is the emotional healing process? What is the hypnotherapy process? It helps to heal the emotions by becoming aware of it, accept accept that you are responsible for the situations, and take action. Being responsible, you try to change, become aware of your original nature by doing those activities which makes you experience those values and virtues in your daily life. So the objectives of hypnotherapy in emotional healing is to enable the patient to recognize the past associations through the past memories and unconscious distortions where we distort and misinterpret things, then where we are generalizing and getting affected by that. Then it also helps in understanding the assumptions, mind readings. Then we also remember all those good things that has happened in our life so that we don't forget the good things, the positive emotions. Then it also helps in identifying the defense mechanisms we practice in our daily life leading to stress. Even defense mechanism, it helps to live a stress-free life, but here we identify by which we become stressful. Those defense mechanisms we identify and we'll be able to get rid of it. Then we also identify the attachments of the possession of thoughts. So what is the technique, hypnotherapy technique? It initially either you relax or you focus. In hypnotherapy, we make the person relax. In psychoanalysis, instead of relaxation, you help the person to remain focused. And by remaining focused, you try to follow the suggestions, instructions given by the counselor so that you are able to identify the root cause of the problems, issues. And we try to understand the psychobiosocial factors by which we are affected by these stressful situations. And through hypnodrama, by rescripting through our imagination and visualization, we are able to modify the memories so that we become free from stress. We start thinking in a positive way. So these can be applied, these techniques can be applied to overcome fear, phobia, migraines. It helps to empower the self, overcome the stress. It deals with getting rid of the anxieties, mild depression, suicidal thoughts, and it helps to deal in a better way, uh, deal with the psychosomatic illness in a better way, and helps to modify our behavior to lead a healthy and happy life. So these are the some samples or examples where we have used this hypnotherapy technique and are able to overcome these addictions, ADHD, anger, anxiety. So basically, we even with first session itself, there are a lot of clarity you can give to the client, but in some cases we need to do it some 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, so that the person gets more clarity about their past emotional issues so that they can lead a stress-free life. So here are some cases where we are able to completely cure the person, get rid of those issues, and where in most of the cases there is improvement with these techniques. So these are some more sessions where we had conducted counseling through hypnosis sessions, like 135 improved through counseling. And here, the techniques, what is used by Dr. Burnham, um, it is about using the suggestions, how many, about 224 are able to be cured, and 200 improved with their situations. And this is about the Dr. Esdale. He has conducted 73 painless operations performed in deep relaxation. And he found that before, without this relaxation, people were dying. People were experiencing a lot of pain. But with this relaxation, there was not a single death during his practice. So it is again, it's about a report of 18 medical cases cured by deep relaxation by Dr. Esdale. So we find that hypnotherapy or the relaxation technique where we help them to vent out the emotional issues and try to understand the psychobiosocial factors. So it helps in getting rid of um, some of the medical issues like mental disorders, the neurotic issues. Okay. So this is all about it. And if any queries, anything, you may please email to me or get in touch with me. These are some of the references where you can see it in online. I had published these 2 papers on consciousness and how it affects the neurotic issues. And there is a book on instant healing. And this is the link where uh, I got those contents of Dr. Esdale and Dr. Burning. Thank you. So if you have any questions, any queries, please write to me. Thank you.